It is Manifesting Mondays, but we're going to be talking about manifestation and the disharmony that we experience because we are not one with nature. We are in disharmony. New Year is not in congruence with nature. Another lie by the matrix system. If you are interested in listening to this, listen to this live because we're going to get peppery in here, not salty, peppery. I just uploaded a reel talking about New Year's and the fact that I will not be celebrating it. I also did not celebrate Christmas this year. And there were many reasons for it, but the main reason was it didn't feel in alignment with me. I am going through some major transformation ever since Leo transitioned. There has been a transformation that I don't even fully understand yet. But all I know is that when things are not in alignment, when my intuition is telling me that it doesn't feel right, I ain't going. I ain't doing it. I don't want to participate in it. What's up, fam? So this year was very different because Christmas has lost its value or its meaning a long time ago. And I continue to just participate in these things. But what I have felt deep within my soul since Leo's transition is that I'm not doing anything that feels out of alignment anymore. I will not participate in a system that I am not in alignment with. So going back to Christmas, it's a day where you're rushing around and you're buying gifts and you don't even feel like doing it. And there's just so much meaningless things that happen that I'm not in alignment with this. Yes, I'm not sure either, Karen. I'm not at all in alignment with it. So I skipped Christmas because I don't feel in alignment with, for many reasons. So now going into New Year and it's not in congruence with being in harmony with nature. Everything is inverted. I just did a video on this that I literally just posted. But everything in this matrix system is inverted and turned upside down. Our New Year is not supposed to begin until... Oh, I'm glad he's okay, Ben. New Year is not supposed to begin until spring, when everything is now starting to come back to life, starting to sprout, planted, new life, rebirth. There is no rebirth during New Year's. Or I'm sorry, during January, during the winter month. There is not any of that. That was something that was made up by I believe it was the Roman Empire's thousands of years ago. When you live in harmony with nature, you go with nature's path. Spring is sprung. Things are coming to life. This is not natural to think that we have to start over again in the winter months when your body naturally wants to hibernate, wants to have rest, doesn't want to be out in nature because it's too cold. Even in other places where there is warm climate, they have rain season, they have hurricane season, they have storms, they have times of the year when it's just not congruent with constantly being at work, where you should be at rest. I'm learning that New Year is actually springtime. 21st of March is the real New Year. So I am not celebrating New Year's this year in January. I will not be doing anything, spending time, going to parties or anything like that because I am no longer willing to live the lie. Everything that we do in this system is working against us because it was designed that way by man, not by nature. God designed for us to go in line and in construct with nature and the natural flow of it. Man has inverted that for his own benefit, for religion, for government purposes, to create worker bees, to not be in line with, let's say, the lunar phases, which are obviously the 28 days of a moon cycle, is what we used to go by. And there were 13 moon cycles in one full cycle. Now there are 12 months that do not line up with our natural body's rhythm. I don't know what conversations are happening in here. Even Christmas is not a Christian holiday, it's a pagan holiday. So for me personally, I am getting away from any holidays. I am not part of any religion. I don't believe in man-made constructs unless they just go naturally with nature. All of us are so screwed up because they're messing with the frequencies. They have all these different radio frequencies that screw up our biological structure. We are not in alignment with a 28-day cycle with resting periods. We are not with the cycles of the moon. They made up this construct to scramble our natural biology for their benefit, for their tax seasons, for their war seasons. This is initially why this was all done back then. So how does this relate to manifestation? If you are constantly in a state of disharmony with yourself, because you are in disharmony with nature, how can you possibly attract the things that you want? It goes back to the saying, millionaires don't use astrology, billionaires do. Because why? Alignment. People that understand astrology will not do or make big decisions or have big events unless it is in direct alignment. And if we as human beings are not in direct alignment with life, how can we manifest things when everything that has to do with manifestation is energetic alignment? I think, did I just make up that word? If we're not in alignment with our energy, you can't get the things that you want, because once you're in alignment with something, it comes easier. It comes naturally. So keeping us, by the way, my sister and I are co-writing an ebook. It should be done in the next 2 days regarding my favorite, because I am so sick of living in this system where nothing feels right. Nothing feels aligned because it is not. So it's difficult for us to align with our dreams and our goals and our desires when we are not in direct alignment with nature. For the past few years, I've not felt or been involved in celebrating these holidays. I am totally with you on that. And Leo kept me in alignment with those things because he brought so much love and joy that I wanted to be around to have those holidays, because he was the main symbol. He was the symbol and the glue that kept me tethered to the matrix system that I never wanted to be a part of. And my wording and the things that I'm going to be talking about are going to have everything to do with breaking free from the matrix system so that you can live in proper alignment with nature. And it'll be easier for you, for me, for everyone to get the things that they want based on our biological and natural structures and not working against it. Everything we do or everything that we're taught is against what nature truly wants for us. The animals are still in harmony with nature for the most part until they get blasted with radiation. So they're still in their rhythm, which is why every different kind of animal can live harmoniously in their own system, because they are still one with nature. We are the only species that is, think about this. We are the only species on Earth that is in disharmony with our environment. Thank you. That's like telling me I'm the most beautiful person in the world if you tell me that my skin is glowing. I get distracted sometimes when I read your comments. But we are, think about that. We're the only species on Earth that is in disharmony with their environment. That's a problem. I'd say that it's a major problem. I'd say that it is the worst problem that we could have, because we think that we are the most superior beings on this earth. But we're also so stupid that we don't even live in harmony with Earth. So somehow the animals have figured it out, but the humans have not. So can anybody explain that? The supposed smartest species on Earth live in disharmony with everything around them. From the food that you eat, to the clothes that you wear, to the materials that your home is built out of, that you are constantly being bombarded with toxins every minute of your waking life and sleep. Your mattress, your sheets, your cleaning products, the shit that you put all over your body. That is disharmonious every minute of your actual existence. But somehow, animals hunt, gather food, find clean water. They go through the natural cycles of life. But we don't. The smartest species on Earth does not. Do you think animals live within the map of consciousness? Do you think that they constantly live in the survival paradigm? Because living is suffering, and we have to find the meaning of why we are suffering. But we don't have to suffer. We don't have to be in a state of suffering. We choose it through our vibration. Well, where does our vibration come from? It comes from our programming. Where does our programming come from? Our programming comes from the oldest memories that we have from our caretakers about money, about love, about need, about being needed, about being loved, about how great or how horrible the world is. We learn those programmings from our earliest teachers. Whether we were bullied, whatever the story is that you have is what programs your mind, which then causes human suffering. Human suffering can be reversed by understanding the map of consciousness. The map of consciousness is the clearest indicator that you have to changing your reality. Because once you understand exactly where you live on the map of consciousness, you can understand then how did I get here? How did my programming become this? Oh, now I understand why my life has manifested in the way that it has. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you go back to your I am. I can only teach you the I am in the map of consciousness because it is the two most important things and reasons of why your life is the way that it is currently. Your I am are your deepest thoughts about yourself. Not conscious ones, they are unconscious. But your unconscious is what is projected out into the world as energy or vibrations, and then it's brought back to you in reality. What the hell am I talking about? If you have trouble in relationships, you're always ghosted, you're constantly in abusive scenarios, you constantly are left by someone's always cheating on you or cheating you, your I am is most likely, or a variation of, I am not worthy. I am not worthy. So if that's where your baseline is, I am not worthy of love. Maybe one or both of your parents didn't show you the type of love that you should have had. That helps you to create a secure attachment style. Learn your attachment styles. That will also be life-changing for you. Your I am not worthy. You will always, unless you figure this out and you understand the map of consciousness. So, I am not worthy. You probably feel shame. You probably feel fear a lot. You probably feel guilt about something. You probably feel anger a lot. All of those are deep down in the survival paradigm, with shame being the absolute lowest on the map of consciousness. So if you come from a space of I am not worthy or I am not chosen, you will always feel one of these feelings, and they are in the survival paradigm. So you'll always be in a state of survival rather than a state of thriving. So once you figure out what your I am is, I am a loser, I am so broke. If you say these, there's people that I know that know what I talk about and discuss and what I teach. Oh my God, I'm so broke, I can't go to dinner. Oh my God, I can't afford that. Never, ever will I ever say those words out loud. Ever. Not even as a joke. I'm so broke. It grosses me out to even say it out loud, even though I'm not saying it as myself. When you get to the space of understanding your I am, that is when you'll be able to change your reality. What is your I am? If you can get anything out of this live today, it's sitting down and thinking about, what is my I am? I'm so broke. I am a victim. I am not treated well. I am not respected. I am always angry. I am always sick. I am so sick. Again, I am not chosen. I am not lovable. I am too much. All of these I ams are very common. They're the most common. I feel like, never mind. So when you identify the I am, that's when you can start to change it. Because if you don't know where you're coming from, or why does my reality look like this? What is your deepest, darkest thoughts about yourself? I'm not good enough. We don't do that in here, so take it somewhere else, buddy. I am not good enough. I am not lovable. I am not loved. I am betrayed. I'm not worthy of an amazing partnership. What is it that is your I am? And after you identify it, that's when you can start to change your mindset. Do we have questions about this? Initially, we were talking about how the new year is not in congruence with harmony, which then causes everything else to be in a state of disharmony. Is there anybody that has questions about that? Is there anybody that would like to share their I am? Because it's very important for other people to understand where you are. And I do this exercise literally every week because there's always new people that watch. And I want people to understand, like, where, okay, this is, you're out, dumbass. Remove. Like, take it somewhere else, buddy. Take it somewhere else. Like, seriously? Okay. Reset, reset, reset. Energy is gone. Okay. So, is there anybody that wants to share their I am? Who are you? I don't want to know your name or your occupation, but who are you? That question always bothers me, to be honest, because it just doesn't make sense to me. Yes, it's not your identify of like what you do or whatever, but it's just, it's like solving a Rubik's Cube, that question. Does anybody want to share their I am? I'm waiting for at least one person to share their I am. What is your I am? It's going to help someone else, and I will give you the reason why after someone shares it. So I would like for you to do that. Benny, not that one. Benny said, I am grateful, which I know that Benny is grateful. I know that you're in a state of gratitude, but 95% of the population lives in the survival paradigm and lives in a negative state of mind. Karen says, okay, two of them. I am a fighter. I am evolving. I shared it above. Wait, I missed yours. Let me look. I have to balance my finances before I can find my ideal relationship. Thank you for that. Look at that belief. I have to balance my finances. I have to be good enough before I can have my ideal relationship. We have to take that and dissect it. Many people will not do things until they feel ready or till they feel good enough. And if that's the case, the things that you want and desire will never happen because you are currently in a state of lack. You are in a state of, I am not ready or I am not good enough. So the only reality that can happen to you is a reflection of that. So it's not going to give you the ideal relationship. It's not going to give you the stable finances because you're already in a deficit. You're already in a negative state. You're already in a state of lack. So you change your I am. Every day you change it. Or you live from the state. Both of these things, your I am and living from the state of the wish fulfilled. The state of the wish fulfilled is I am so financially stable and I am in the most amazing harmonious relationship. Okay? Notice the difference. I can't have a stable relationship I can't have a relationship until I'm financially stable. You are currently in a state of lack. You're currently in a state of I am not good enough. So in order to change that, when you are in the state of the wish fulfilled, how would you feel? Go into the state of the wish fulfilled. And how would you feel if you had the most amazing relationship and you are so successful in your line of work? That is the visualization that you can practice. Do a guided meditation about attracting a specific person. You can find them on YouTube. And it will walk you through the feeling. It'll walk you through the visual. And you put yourself as if you are there. I have manifested so many things this way. Is doing my visualizations. You know what? There's other techniques and I've talked about them. But the visualization puts you into a space, in a place somewhere that you're like, oh my God, that felt like it actually just happened to me. I just experienced that. And the trick is, your subconscious mind does not or cannot differentiate whether you just experienced that visualization or if you were just daydreaming about it. So when people are constantly going over like this stressful situation, your body is going through it as if it's actually experiencing it. So if you're constantly thinking like, oh, I'm just not good enough, and like thinking about like, oh, if I just had this much money to pay my bills, and maybe if I could do this or do that, like you're constantly reviewing or rehearsing this scene. You're rehearsing the scene that then becomes the movie of your life. So if you feel I can't have a relationship until I'm financially stable, you will never have either. Because lack, thinking, and feeling does not equal prosperity here. So if you want to have prosperity and you want to have the amazing relationship, you have to be in the state like you're an actor in a movie. You become the character. I can speak from experience. One of the hardest roles I've ever played was a mother of a teenager that overdosed. I had to be in the state. I was in a funeral scene. We filmed in a church. It was in January or February. It was freezing in Boston. We filmed in a church. They had a casket. They had everything. I had to get in the state of mourning and grieving. There's a clip of me looking straight ahead and looking down, and there's just a tear that comes down my face, and it was real. I cried on cue all day. So many people on the set were like, how are you like hysterical crying all day? Like, what are you thinking about? I was in the state of the wish fulfilled. The state of the wish fulfilled for that acting piece was grieving over my child that I lost through drug addiction. It was the hardest role that I ever had to play. I played a dancer that was raped by someone. We filmed the rape scene and everything. The guy was very difficult to work with, and he was a gross pervert. But anyway, we had to do a fight choreography scene. I did fight choreography, and the guy was just a complete moron. So he tackled me into the kitchen, and I had to kick him away, and I kicked him in the face because he did not follow the choreography. But I was in the moment. I was in the state of being. Acting isn't real. But how many people have died after playing roles like the Joker? He was in that frame of mind for so long, he couldn't get out of it. He manifested this insane reality because his mind didn't know the difference between him acting it and pretending, or if he was actually experiencing it. That's why many people go crazy after they are in these roles and characters for so long. This is what manifestation is. Being in the state of something for so long that it becomes natural. So for many people that play these roles for months, it just becomes natural, and that's who you actually become. Because of consciousness, not because you lost your mind, but when you play a character like that for so long, you actually do end up losing your mind. Because of your state of consciousness. So this relates to manifestation in the way that if you play the role of having the perfect job, having the amazing relationship, eventually it is so natural, it becomes you, and it has to reflect in your reality. It's just the laws of the universe. You have a Judge Judy way of explaining things. This was behind the curtain for a while. Thank you. I'm glad. I'm glad. So I think that could help many people with having difficulty with their manifestations, is when you don't know that you're doing this, but you're playing the role of a person that's always a victim, or you're playing the role of someone that's, oh, I'm so broke. That's a role. When you change the role and you rewrite the script of your life, it has to change as long as you persist in that feeling of who am I? Who am I that has the things that I want? What does that feel like? How do I wear my hair every day? How do I show up every day? How do I smell? What does it feel like to drive the Lamborghini if that's what the hell you want? What is it like? Embody that state enough in your life and enough times in your life. The repetition of it is what impresses the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind then takes on that energy. That energy is then pushed out into your reality, and then it becomes it. Nothing in this reality is impossible. When I tell you this, I'm telling you this from experience. Both myself and my sister have manifested some insane things. And someone that I was really good friends with for a long time. She was obsessed with this one celebrity that is just world renowned, who was legendary. She was obsessed with this person, and she said, I'm going to work with her. I'm going to work with her. Like, I'm going to work for her. I'm going to work with her. I'm going to create with her. And her friends would be like, yeah, okay. You live in South Philly. Like, how are you working with this huge celebrity? One of the biggest celebrities to ever live. And she, from when she was a kid, she had all her books. She had all her CDs. She had everything. The stars aligned. And one day, we found ourselves in the Hollywood Hills. My sister, myself, and this other person found ourselves sitting at dinner with this legend at a house. This huge house looking over a cliff that was owned by someone that did like the editing for all the biggest movies in Hollywood. And here we are sitting across the table from the biggest legend in the world. And she manifested this. She talked about this for years. And she didn't allow anybody to say like, yeah, sure, dream on. So many people would say that to her, like, oh my God, stop it. Like, you live in Philly, like that's never going to happen. So when you don't falter with your manifestations and your dreams, they will happen, no matter if it's 30 years later or 10 days later. You stay with the state of the wish fulfilled, and eventually the stars will align. It's just the laws of the universe. This isn't shit I'm blowing smoke up your ass about. Like, this is just the laws of the universe. If you don't know what the laws of the universe are, go start reading about the laws of the universe. When I was severely addicted to pain meds, I practiced feeling being thrilled having stopped, and that was 7 years ago. Benny is another person that he's manifested from being disabled to walking. Like, don't sit there and tell people that have already done this that it's not possible. Because if you're one of those people, you shouldn't be here listening to this, because it's not going to do anything good for you. Talk to the people that have already done it. Talk to the people that have seen the impossible manifest. Whether it's attracting a specific person, whether it's getting the dream job or the dream home or whatever it is. Talk to the people that have already done it. I have a Latina energy. I was a Latina in another lifetime. And I was Egyptian in another lifetime. And I was definitely black in another lifetime. And in this lifetime, I'm Italian. So, no, I got the Latina flair. I know that. I don't even know what time I got on here, but I just know that I've been talking for a while. If you didn't watch this whole live, rewatch it, because it's going to really help you in manifesting the things that you want and understanding that it all has to do with harmony, being in harmony with nature, being in harmony with yourself, and never giving up on your manifestation. No matter how long it's taken you, no matter if you're like, oh my God, my life is horrible, this shit doesn't work. If you persist in the state of the wish fulfilled, no matter what your current reality looks like, your current reality is a result of past thinking. What is happening to you right now in your current reality is a result of past dwelling and thinking. Look at your reality right now and think about, what are the things that I have been thinking about or worried about, afraid of, fearful of? What is it? Because that is why your current reality is where it is. I woke up today not in a harmonious space, which is why I didn't do my live this morning. I was like, I'm not going to do my live this morning and be in a state of disharmony and then expect to teach things about harmony. So I got my shit together. I took a lithium orotate. I have 3 patches on my back because of nerve pain. And then I showed up. So, I think my candle blew out by itself. That was a random side note. I intend that this was helpful. I know that this was helpful. Within the last, Jan, within the next 24 to 36 hours, I will have an ebook for you to constantly reflect back to and read. Okay? My sister and I are co-writing this, and it's going to be so helpful on your journey with manifestation, and you'll always be able to reference it and have a visual understanding of why we are where we are. So, have to go wax a client, but can't wait to come back for the replay. Let me know what you guys think, or if this was helpful. I'm going to repost this. I love you guys so much, and I'm not going to say Happy New Year because it's not the New Year. You can access the book. It'll be probably in a link in my profile. I literally just saw something and I'm like, why did I wrote one whole book that's going to be a printable book. This is just going to be an ebook, and it's totally different from the other one, but for whatever reason, I was not in alignment with releasing the other book, and I wrote it like the month before Leo transitioned and probably up until the week before. And so there's just a lot of things that have happened to me that maybe are different from what I had written in that book. So this book is different. This book is on the map of consciousness and the I am. And it's just going to be something that's going to really help with clarity. So I am sending you lots of love, and I will repost this, and I will see you on Wednesday. No. I don't know when I'll see you, but I'll see you this week.